How old were you when you arrived in Los Angeles?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I don't want to lie or get it
Okay.
wrong.
Okay, okay.
I was.
What hit song was out? We'll just.
Oh, that's a good one. I remember. Aaliyah's "Are You That Somebody."
Okay.
I remember that being on. Listen, moving to LA was like a serious culture shock. Okay, because I came from Atlanta, Augusta, GA, and I had lived there for years. And then I had this R&B artist who flew me out. It was around Thanksgiving time. And we're working on his second album, which never saw the light of day, unfortunately. But I remember going down to 101 because the 101 always freaked me out. It was just like, this is, I'm not used to these type of freeways. And I remember "Are You That Somebody" by Aaliyah being on, because I thought it was so odd to hear a baby in it. In the song, I was like, Timbaland is crazy. He's got this little baby going in, but this is a dope song. So yeah, whatever year that was, I guess that was 98. I might have been, what is this? That was 20 years ago?
Was it that long ago?
I probably was, I was 28. I was 28, yeah, 28, 27, 28.
Okay. What were your expectations when you think back to driving down that 101? And by the way, the 101 scares me too, so I can see why. But it's also invigorating at night. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's
peaceful.
there's a sense of possibility, like, wow, this is Los Angeles, and I'm here. But still, it is scary. But what were your expectations at that time?
I thought in a year's time I was gonna have probably 5 hit records on the radio. I was gonna win not an Oscar, a Grammy. And I would be able to buy my mom a house. And yeah, that was a rough time, because for how many years that I had been working on doing music and having the success that I did have living in Georgia and having my songs on the radio and stuff, when I moved to LA, that didn't happen. And it was just a rough time. I mean, I was living with the artist's family. I didn't have my own place, and it was hard finding my space in that production company, and I was seeing where things were going to be at that time. So what you're asking, on one hand, I had expectations on where I wanted it to go, but I was also seeing where it wasn't going to go. And that's tough, especially when you're working with someone so talented, because you're saying, I see where you're headed and it's not good. And if that's where you're headed, what's going to happen to me? Everything happens for a reason. I look back at my music career and I say, man, as much as, and I still love music. I mean, if I had an opportunity, I probably would work with somebody and come out with an amazing record. But I didn't get the love that I get in film. I didn't get that love in music. And so you have to go where the love is reciprocated. As much as I love music, it wasn't loving me. As much as I love film, it loves me. And that to me is, it's like any relationship. You know what I mean? It can't be one-sided. So my expectations were, I assumed I would have at least 5 songs on the radio. I was that good of a music producer and a songwriter, but it wasn't meant to be. And I had to accept that. And making that transition helped me to move into film easier.
We talked about earlier flexibility, and it goes back to sort of Darwinism too. He talks about, the species that survives are the ones that can adapt. So you're talking about, you saw, even though you love music, it was everything you wanted to be. What was that moment like when you realized, I mean, how did you even see that? How did you see, as much as I love this is me, it's not going to happen?
I'm probably speaking the tale of many people who got to that point and quit the industry rather than making the adjustment. I think that's what happens. I think there's a point where everyone gets to in their life where they go, okay, listen, I'm not receiving it, because it's really all about love. It really is. All we're looking for as human beings is for love. We're all looking for it. Some of us, we find it in entertainment. Some of us, we find it from our children. We find it from the spouse that we're with. We find it from our family. We find it from God. We find it from our religion. We find it the way that we need to find it. And when it's not reciprocated, it's a very powerful and painful thing. It was a cathartic moment for me. It was tough. I remember being on my knees and just crying and saying, God, why did you bring me out here? If this is not going to happen, like, you know, what do I do? Do I go back to, you know, to Augusta? Do I, you know, go to New York? What do I do? It's not happening. I've been struggling. You know, I was a personal trainer. I was working at a gym. I did so many different jobs. But I think when you listen to that inner voice, you know, Oprah calls it the aha moment. I just believe it's just an epiphany when you wake up and you go, you know what, maybe that's just not the way it's supposed to happen. And if you let go, because sometimes God will say, be still and know that I am God. And I say, well, okay, what does that mean? What is that level of faith of understanding that if you wake up in the morning, that you're breathing, that you're eating, that you have your capacity of your limbs and you're still moving forward. You have a roof over your head. You have food to eat. You have clothes on your back. He's giving you everything that you need. So you just have to make that adjustment. And the adjustment for me was, okay, listen, music is not the way. But getting into film years later, needing to work on the music, which moves any film, I had all of that experience. And I said, well, wait a minute, that's what that was for. So I snatched that big pearl and I took it and put it into my collection of jewels. And now I realize, okay, all of those years of doing that, no different than me being mugged or going through the violence that I went through in Brooklyn as a kid, which got me into the martial arts. All of those years of music and stuff helps me as a film director. It helps me to teach my actors because they don't know 80s music or 70s music or 60s and 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. I know all of that stuff because I spent so many years in music. So now when I'm teaching them something about acting, I got a little extra resource that I can give them through lyrics that they've never heard because all they listen to is current music. Man, how powerful is that? When I'm telling them, hey, listen to Bruce Springsteen and he was saying this in this song. How close is that? Or listen to Richard Mark when he's talking about it don't mean nothing. And this is attributing to your acting career, your singing career, or your dance career. And they're going, wow, this is amazing stuff. They've never heard these songs. I have.